Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Yuki, and today's topic is Hypebeast in 2023. But before we get into the topic, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. That will help me out majorly. And so without further ado, let's get back into the video. So, is Hypebeast still alive in 2023? For me, Hypebeast culture is always gonna be there, people that wear trendy stuff, but I feel like for the most part it's really hard to define what Hypebeast culture is in 2023. For example, if you were to ask me what Hypebeast culture was a couple years back, I would have been able to tell you directly exactly what they wore. They'll be wearing Yeezys, they'll be wearing Supremes, Palace, a lot of these brands that are like famous, But if you were to ask me right now in 2023, I wouldn't really be able to give you a direct answer. And I feel like that is because of this one specific thing that happened in 2017. And before we get into that, of course there is trends even today. There are people that wear more trendier stuff like Amiri, Gallery Deck, Rick Owens, Chrome Hearts. There's always going to be brands that are the trendiest. But if you were to ask me if that is Hypebeast, I wouldn't really call that necessarily Hypebeast culture. I feel like in 2023 it's more of aesthetics and how you style. I think the fashion has kind of matured in that sense. And going back to the 2017 specific incident, I think that kind of took the whole culture into another era is the Supreme Louis Vuitton collaboration. Now, this collaboration in 2017, I think in retrospect, is bigger than just a collaboration. Louis Vuitton has always been in the fashion, luxury sort of space, of course. But not only that, they were one of the first to collaborate with street artists, with Marc Jacobs working with graffiti artists, Murakami, and even the collaboration LV had with Kanye West, Kanye West's Dawn sneakers with LV. And so even in that luxury fashion space, LV has, had their sort of fan base, so to speak. You'll also have guys like Dapper Dan, who's been using that LV monogram. So it's kind of been in that sort of space. And you go over to Supreme, they're kind of like the head honcho of streetwear. They've been collaborating with everyone. And, if you take it back to the early 2000s, they even had like a rip-off LV monogram design which got a cease and desist. And so for these two brands to kind of come together and have a collaboration is like LV being the biggest brand in luxury fashion. Of course there's brands such as like Hermes, which is even higher price point, but LV has always been more seen, so to speak, in streetwear. And so with Supreme and LV coming together, it was kind of like the apex of collaboration. And after that, I feel like every other collaboration is just sort of like an afterthought. There's been like Jordan 1, Dior. There's also been Gucci and Balenciaga collaboration. And then all these Loewe and Ghibli movie, cartoon anime collab. You got Doraemon with Gucci. Like a lot of these collaborations just I feel like it's lost its power, it's that sauce. And I just feel like it's because of that 2017 collaboration with Supreme and LV. Another thing is, I feel like after that collaboration, it just sort of went to the peak. It's as if the collaboration and Hypebeast sort of culture just kind of clashed and made this sort of Mount Everest of hype collaboration. And I feel like you just don't see people wearing as much Supreme anymore, And that whole sort of like materialistic consumerism culture just kind of just really climaxed, right? Pause. I don't think hypebeast culture is dead 100%, but I just feel like that sort of moment has definitely passed, and we're in another phase of the fashion cycle. And yeah, I mean, like I said again, I'm not saying that there is no hype culture, because, you know, if you look at Instagram, like there are trendy brands like Human Made, Mihara Yasuhiro sneakers, Denim Tears, Girls Don't Cry. Like there are brands that are still sort of trendy, basically. I also wanted to add one thing, which is that in 2023, there are trends and styles and brands such as Jound, New Balance, you know, Birkenstocks. There's also Adidas Sambas. There are things that you kind of see a lot on social media, but I just do feel that it's more focused on the aesthetic instead of just logos slapped onto a piece of item. But for the most part, I feel like that 2017, it was like this collaboration Armageddon just kind of imploded, and we're just in a new era. That's it for this week. If you like my video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao ciao, bye bye.